One, two, three. Welcome to another episode of Big Local Tarek's Community Podcast. And I would like to welcome another guest, Jan.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. I hear that you do a project called Daisy Art.
Yes, my name's Jane. I'm one of 4 directors of a community arts organisation called Daisy Arts. We're based in Bishop Auckland. We have a studio and workshop area in the marketplace of Bishop Auckland. And as an organisation and as self-employed artists, we've been working in the community for many years.
How interesting. Look, I'm into art quite a lot. So what creative things do you do? Like any, outdoor activities,
We offer quite a broad scope of activities and events. The two working directors, both myself and Dawn. Dawn is an artist and craft artist, and I facilitate in art, creative writing, and theatre. My background is fine art and theatre as an actor, but we also partner with a lot of external organisations as well, similar to ourselves, as well as mainstream organisations, to add an art element to a project. So that's wonderful. We're partnering at the moment, or prior to lockdown, we were in partnership with Weir Rivers Trust and Durham Wildlife Trust, and that's enabled us to do some really interesting projects over the last couple of years. We've worked in schools and community centres with all ages, and it's been a mixture of history podcasts and a music element, because we created a River Gorn symphony, which was premiered a year or 2 ago. And we go into schools with that and create in the river for the day without getting wet, to primary schools that can't get to the riverbank, but we take the river to them. We also provide, over the years, we've provided a very successful arts festival for our town, and we do large-scale structures for parades and events, and we also program events and exhibitions and all sorts. So depending on the project that we're offering, we get other self-employed artists to join us on projects, and band together a group of people who have different skill sets to facilitate the work within the community that we're working with in that patch.
How interesting. Sounds really fun. I know that you do, I'm into films quite a lot. I know that you do inspiring community films.
Yes, we have. We haven't done a lot of filmmaking as of late. Actually, well, that's not true. We have created some online short films to encourage people to get crafting at home, and using bits and bobs that they have around the house to make different things. So that was an initiative that really came out of lockdown, because lockdown happened. It was a surprise for us all, wasn't it, really? As self-employed artists, we sort of stopped work a week before, if not a wee bit longer, than when official lockdown happened across the country. And both myself and Dawn, as artists, we were quite keen to how can we still support our community. So Dawn, being a craft artist, her idea and her passion was, well, I wonder whether we could create some craft packs that would then be a gift to people on the doorstep. So we developed that, and that really sustained us as artists throughout lockdown. You know, packing those bags, because each craft bag had 4 crafts inside it. So so we managed to secure some funding from Gornless Gateway, which was wonderful, and also a local area action partnership close to where we live. So we could actually deliver craft packs in Bishop Auckland and craft packs in Spennymoor, but also other organisations got in touch with us too and ordered packs from us. So in a way, that was a wonderful collaborative response, that they then you know, used our packs to then give us as gifts from themselves to their communities, which was wonderful.
Yeah, this sounds really fun. Now, I'm into art myself. Do you take all of this, you know, activities from any inspirational artists, or that might be a hard
gosh,
question.
yeah, it's interesting that you should say that. We're working on since guidelines changed and we were allowed to start slowly coming back to work. We managed to secure some further funding, and which was wonderful. We received further funding from Gornless Gateway, the big local, and that opened us up to further funding from like match funding, which actually ended up with more match funding because we got COVID initiative funding from our Durham County Council, and funding from a COVID initiative fund from County Durham Foundation, which was wonderful. And since then we have been doing a summer school journey. So we've been working with young people outside and creating art, you know, art and props and stories and poems. And then those young people that we've been working with for the week have then presented that to family and friends at the end of their week. So we've been to Bishop Auckland. Last week we were in Shildon, and this week we're in a place called Low Barnes Nature Reserve. And not necessarily inspired by any particular poet or artist. We've just got the young people to be inspired about their environment around them, which is very nature packed, and they have lakes and a river and reed beds and beautiful flowers, and they've created we're on our second day, but yesterday they did a lot of writing and a lot of telling stories to each other, and they've actually created a wonderful piece of creative writing, which they're just working out how to present now to their family on Friday.
Yeah, I was reading earlier today about you hold a festival called Fab Fest.
Yes, Feb Fest. Yes,
Interesting.
that was a 3-week festival that developed actually out of a week-long festival that we used to run on Woodhouse Close Estate, which is a local estate just on the outskirts. It's within Bishop Auckland, but it's just towards the external area of Bishop, and we've been running a 1-week arts festival there for at least 10 years, and but then we got some further funding, and that developed. It just inspired us to sort of have a festival for the whole of Bishop Auckland. So we rebranded from Woodhouse Arts Festival to Feb Fest, which because it was happening in February. And it was a 3-week-long arts festival that sandwiched February half-term holidays, school holidays, and always had an exhibition and at its core. And the exhibition was made up of artwork from schools and community groups, and then it was top and tailed by theatre events, music events, and workshops within the community. So during the week we programmed in almost 40 workshops across Bishop Auckland, of all different things: singing, ukulele, making your own bow and arrow, to glass making, all sorts, and for all ages, which was wonderful.
Wow. I was reading earlier as well about a theatre project you do called, I can't pronounce it, Wash.
Yes, we run a local youth theatre. Yeah, it's called Wash. It's Woodhouse.
Wash yourself.
Wash yourself. Yes, it's called. It's an anagram for Woodhouse Acting Silly Harrys. So it's based on the Woodhouse Close estate, and it's been running now for a long time, since 1997. Would you believe? And yeah, over the years we've produced a number of pantomimes, outdoor theatres. They've also collaborated with other young people across town and helped with our outdoor autumn event, which is called All Hallows, which is a promenade theatre. More recently, we collaborated with 2 other youth theatres called Jackass in Crook and The Turrets in Barnard Castle, and produced an absolutely wonderful presentation linked to the centenary of World War I, called Dulce et Decorum Est, and that was a promenade theatre event, and that was performed in Hamsterley Forest, which is near us, over 4 nights, over the Remembrance Weekend in November. So that was an incredible experience for all the young people. They developed the piece themselves, and yeah, it was a real honour to do that, and for us and for the young people, but also for us as artists ourselves. It was a very unique piece of art. So it was wonderful.
You did quite a lot. Yeah. Sounds really much fun. Yeah, it sounds really fun. You do live music as well.
We do, yes. We always try to have, yeah. I mean, I love music. I'm a singer. Don't sing as much as I should, but I'm also a member of a Maracatu band, which is a local band based in Crook. And yeah, there is something quite beautiful about music. It really brings people together. It lifts people's spirits. It's wonderful. And so whenever we're doing what we're doing this week, for instance, whenever we're doing a summer school, we always try to have somebody along with us. This week and for the last couple of weeks, we've had an artist called Rupert, and he's a he facilitates in music, and he is helping the young people to develop their own song for this week. So that's great.
Good thing you mentioned about singing, because I'm doing a Singers Got Talent, and if you guys are interested, what I'm doing is like they record a 2-minute song of their choice singing it, and
yes,
it will be played on this podcast.
Oh, wonderful.
The deadline's at the end of August, so if anyone's interested, just let me know, and that would be great.
Thank you. No, that sounds really good. So what kind of art do you like? Do you paint? Do you like to be creative yourself?
Yeah, I tried. I don't know how to say it. I tried, you know, the straw art where you like paint with using a straw, where you just blow out of a straw.
Yes.
I tried that, and I
Oh,
absolutely failed.
oh, I'm sure you didn't. No art is a failure. I bet it's wonderful. We always say that to everybody. Don't throw anything away. It's you know, there's always you can always change it into something else. But persevere. Try it again. I'm sure it was maybe just just your first go.
Yeah, I've asked you a lot about the projects now. So what is like? What do you hope? What is the main purpose of this? You know, whole
The main purpose of Daisy Arts, is
yeah,
that what? Yes.
or the big aims.
The aims. Well, we're rooted in our community. We're very passionate about using the skills that we have as artists and linking with our community. I think the arts is an incredible engagement tool. Yeah, I think you can capture people's hearts with art. I think, you know, what I found, especially with the arts festivals that have been running, that ran for so long, we actually we were having a breather from our arts festivals at the moment. Our last arts festival was in 2016, but I think what we found with our arts festivals, especially, people came along for a 2-hour workshop, and just to give it a try, really. They'd never necessarily tried, you know, done felt making before, or like I say, playing a ukulele or playing a drum, or making a piece of batik fabric. They'd never done it, but it's quite a treat to see those participants giving it a go and realizing that they can. And also it makes people feel better, I think, too. It's a wonderful way to help people with their health and well-being. People go away with smiles and a sense of achievement. And I think working with young people especially, it's very important to give young people a voice, give all ages a voice, but especially if we're working with young people, help them to create and realize their own potential, and encourage their creativity, because I think that's really important.
Well, I was going to ask you about some experiences, but I think you've already answered it, unless you have any more.
No, I've no, it's just thank you very much for having us, and chatting with us about our work. It's very, very nice of you to take interest. Thank you.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think now. I'm lost. How can people get involved if they want to get involved?
Well, we do. We're on Facebook. A lot of people use Facebook still in this area, so we do have a page on Facebook and a profile. We have a website, www.daisyarts.org. We do try to promote as much as possible things that we're doing, and if we're also on Instagram, people want to just have a look online to see what we're up to, and how they can get involved. It would and pop us a line, email us on info@daisyarts.org. That's info@daisyarts.org. And if anyone would like to work with us, or come along to any of the workshops that we have available, then that would be great.
Do you mind if you put it at the bottom of this video?
No, not at all. No, that's great.
Yeah. I thought it would, I don't know if this will put you on the spot. I thought it would be a good idea if you can maybe, because a lot of people like art, if you can maybe give some like art tips of little things they can do. Did that put you on the spot?
Okay. Tarek's asked me to share a few art tips. I don't know really where to start actually, because we can create art out of the silliest of things from around the house. You know, the inside tube of our toilet paper, or you know, a milk carton that's come to the end of its use. There's no more milk in it. You clean it out and have a look at its shape and see what you can cut it down to. A 2-litre milk carton can turn into an elephant, would you believe? And cardboard tubes, you can cut them down and create little characters, so you could have an animal farm. But you can, it's amazing how cheaply you can pick up paint nowadays in local shops. So even or colouring in books, we found that those, you know, people have found those very beneficial. Even adults, don't be afraid to buy a colouring in book and some coloured pencils, because it's very calming to paint and to draw and to colour in.
Yeah, I don't know if I asked you this. So what have you been doing in lockdown at the moment? Because I know we can't go out or any. Have you been running any Zoom sessions or?
We during total lockdown, we did our creative packs, our doorstep gifts, and we also continued Zooming weekly with our youth theatre, and so connected with our young people. We also run an adult art class, but not all of them are on the internet. So it was more a personal link on that. So we have their telephone numbers, so we rang them on their landlines and checked up on them and made sure that they were okay. We're not sure when classes such as that will be able to start up again, because it depends on the spaces that we hire to use, whether those centres are reopening. We're hoping that a couple of the centres that we use are going to reopen from September. But like I say, over the last 3 weeks, we have been connecting with young people and have been working outdoors on our theatrical summer schools, and just small numbers, because it's very important that we continue to socially distance even outside, but that's proved successful. We have been very careful, and the young people that we've connected with have really benefited from getting back into meeting up with people again, and I think they've enjoyed the experience of being with us and exploring and creating.
You have done a lot. I want to do it now. So I think we've covered everything. Is there anything you want to say, or anything you want to say?
Yeah, I think you know, we're not sure what the future will bring. Really, we're still unsure how connected we can become, because we still have to be very careful, and we also don't know as an organisation, you know, what the future will hold. We have been extremely lucky to benefit from the COVID initiative funds that have been out there, and we're very, very grateful for that. And we just hope that we can continue connect with our community and work with them and feed them with the art that we offer, really.
Yeah. So thank you for joining me today.
No, thank you.
Really fun. This is Tarek's Community Podcast, and goodbye.